All right, so we're here now again, another episode of the Couchcast, podcast, vlog class, whatever it is.
Sounds good to me.
We're here with Mitchell. Now, Mitchell, you're kind of one of the not new, but
fairly new compared to everyone else you've had on.
Yeah, you're kind of like, I say Watford generation.
Yeah.
But you did pop over to the gym in Harrow a couple of times, right?
A couple of times, yeah.
So, enough about that, because we're going to try and, I'm going to try and figure out the story when you could just tell us.
Perfect.
So, as always, why punch people in the face? Why train? Why not do something else? What's your story, Mitchell?
Well, my story sort of started a little bit like different to everyone else, especially everyone else you've had on the couch so far. I started off boxing, and I kind of got into boxing when I was about 11. It must have been about 11. My dad got me into it.
So like a year ago. You look 11. I know, that's why you grew a beard, right?
That is why I grew a beard.
So you don't look 11.
Shave it off, and everyone just takes a piss, really.
Okay.
But
not me.
Yeah.
There you go. So 11, you started boxing.
Yeah, 11 I started boxing. It was kind of a choice, but it was more sort of, at the time, especially in like my family, nothing was going very well. My oldest brother was in prison. My brother, just older than me, because I've got two older brothers, brother just older than me was always in trouble, always had police visiting, and my dad kind of said to me, look, I don't want you getting involved with that. He knew someone that kind of owned a boxing gym, and he was like, it's your choice, but I'd really like you to go start boxing, or start something. Let's see if you enjoy boxing. And I went there, and kind of from the first sort of punch I threw, so I started off, and the guy was like, oh, show me some shadow boxing. I was only 11, first session, I had no technique. But as soon as he started showing me the right technique, I kind of fell in love with, as you said, punching people in the face. And it was the one thing I was always good at. I was never good academically. School I never enjoyed. Was always getting in trouble. I guess like the influence from my older brothers was it was always a bad influence. Always at school I was always the one getting in trouble, but then I'd get back home, and then obviously my dad would know the trouble I've been in. He'd take me to boxing, tell my coaches, and they were the ones that kind of disciplined me, and they were the ones that kind of showed me respect and showed me how to sort of like, I guess the words, portray myself. And from there I got better. I started listening more a bit in school. I started just behaving myself just because of that natural discipline that they were kind of teaching. And then from then on, I kind of had this love for kind of, I wouldn't say, and I'm no way saying that like boxing or any sports like that is dangerous, but I kind of got that love for that adrenaline. And I started sort of like...
The challenge.
The challenge, yeah.
Because it's a challenge, going, even just hitting a bag, going to the gym.
Yeah. Hitting
a bag, it can be not necessarily scary, but daunting, or somewhat like, just saying you like in the beginning, sort of, gives you a bit of like, you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Something new.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like, because you're almost exposing yourself, aren't you? So, am I going to be bad at that?
Yeah.
So not necessarily, don't want to do it, but am I going to be any good?
Yeah.
Are people going to judge me because I throw my jab wrong, or I move wrong, or so I think that in itself maybe, and I guess that's once you actually no, I'm pretty good at this, or people don't judge me, then I quite like that, because sometimes when you do something that you don't, even if it's making a phone call, right? Oh, I really don't want to make the phone call, man.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it, and then you do it,
and as soon as you've done it,
I feel good about myself.
Yeah.
So I guess if you was 11, you maybe didn't really understand any of that, and then as soon as you felt it, But I think another thing you said, like, for me, I find if people are teaching like martial art, or like let's say martial art correctly, I think there's a responsibility that comes with learning how to like be physical. Like if you're trying to be like a fighter or a martial artist or whatever, I think if you're teaching it correct, like you said, taught you how to carry yourself.
Yeah.
how to conduct yourself, because obviously people will judge you as, oh, he's a boxer, he's a fighter, blah 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 blah. So you got to make sure that you don't, you know, confirm their belief that you're a thug or whatever, right?
Because that's what I got. Because when I started boxing, it was like as I went into secondary school. So like my first 2 years, you know, people would find out I was boxing, and I still had that hot temper, and people would come, oh, so you box? Oh, come on, let's see what you got. And I was stupid enough to be like, yeah, all right, then let's go. Like, I had that hot, and then sort of years went past, and I'd go, fucking hell, I was a dickhead. Why was I doing that? Like, and that sort of what's the word? Like, I kind of grew in myself, and I realised how, as you said, how to carry myself, and I was like, no, if people are saying that, I'll be like, oh yeah, cool, all right, and I'll just walk away. Where I never would have done that. I had this such hot temper that I'd be like, no, you can't talk to me like that, let's go. And I feel I have to prove myself. But yeah, as the years went on, I was like, no, I don't need to prove myself. I kind of got that discipline inside me. I was just like, yeah, I felt
So
good.
how long did you box for?
So I boxed until I was about 18 or 19. And I had sort of 20, 30 plus fights. And boxed for London. I boxed in the ABAs, AIBAs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then kind of when I was about 19, my gym shut down, and I didn't have a car at this point. And
where was the gym that you?
So the gym was in Watford. It was near Canterbury Park. It was a place called Sun Postal. It was like a football club there, and we had this little shed down the bottom.
Yeah.
And it had everything we needed. It was a small place, but it had like everything we needed. And it was only like 10, 15-minute walk away from my house, kind of thing. And I fell in love with that place, and then it shut down to somewhere like quite further away. And then I knew there were other gyms like a lot of the people that were training there either went to Finchley or they carried on with the same gym, but they were able to get there, and I just couldn't. So for about a year or two, I think about 2 years, it must have been I was about 19 when I stopped, and for about 2 years I'd done nothing. I as you guys here know, obviously none of you like know this about me, but I'd done a lot of free running, a lot of parkour for a couple of years, and then a friend of mine said, oh, there's actually a MMA gym in Watford.
So how did you get into the parkour?
You know what, I kind of like saw loads of videos on YouTube, and like my mentality is always like, I'm sure I could do that, and started training, had like a few friends.
So you hadn't done like gymnastics or anything like that as a kid or anything?
No, I just have this I have this mentality of like, if I see something, I'll never be like, or maybe I'll try it with this. Like, my first instinct, if someone goes, oh, that looks cool, you should try it, I'm that idiot that goes, yeah, let's try it. Let's give it a go. So someone said to me one time, like, oh, I wonder if you could do a backflip. And I went, I wonder. Let's see if I can. And I tried it and sort of landed it a bit iffy, but I was like, I can backflip. I can do free running. Yeah.
I wish I could do a backflip.
Yeah.
I'm just going to turn the music down. There's a class happening right now because Mitchell, as always, I've tried to grab people when I can, and there's a class happening right now, so I'm just going to nip out a shot because it's getting a little loud. Hold tight.
No worries. But yeah, like.
A little bit down. I'm just going to turn it a little bit down.
Cool.
Because obviously we have a Muay Thai class going on at the moment. So you did the parkour. Free running, you was doing all that. So where was you doing that? Just out on the streets, where it's on the concrete jungle?
There's like little pop-up parks that they have. There's like a few walls and bars that you can sort of practice on. And I was kind of doing it like on and off for a while. I never done it properly. I always saw things. I was like, I'll give it a try. And then as I was sort of doing all that, a friend told me, oh, there's actually an MMA gym in Watford.
Okay.
And I went, oh, okay. And I went to it, and it was Gintas Combat.
Yeah.
Which was only sort of across the road from here at that point.
So Gintas Combat, they were those. So Gintas, I think when I first met Gintas, because I had a few of his guys fight on my show, and I think he had a place, like a little place in Hatch End. He had a little place, maybe around like a little church hall kind of thing.
Okay.
And then I forget what show it would have been, but then they took the plunge and made a full-time place, right?
Yeah.
And that was around sort of the back Of the ring, well, on the ring road, but around
around the back of the shop.
Around the back of the shops and
yeah,
a little bit tucked away, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
it was, yeah.
Unfortunately, maybe a little bit too tucked away.
Yeah, if you were walking past, like I'd walk past this place, I'd say hundreds of times, as I literally only live down the road.
Because we used his place, I think maybe twice, definitely once for a weigh-in for the show.
Oh, cool.
So I remember the place. But for me, I think it was a little bit too tucked away.
It was really tucked away. As I said, like as I only lived a couple of minutes like down the road from it, I walked past it hundreds of times and I never realised until my mates.
Which is not a bad thing, like to not to be, because people that find you want to find you. They don't just. Yeah. It's like my old gym in Harrow was like that. You would miss it.
Yeah.
If you didn't know where it was, you ain't gonna walk past it and go. So it cut down on a few of the crazies walking in.
Yeah, exactly.
But essentially, you need people to know where it is to.
Of course.
To keep the bills paid and keep the place alive, Yeah. Because I remember talking to Gintas like when I first came here, asking what he was doing, and luckily for me, that he was kind of winding up that gym.
Yeah.
How long was that gym? Like, how long was it there for?
So he was there for a while before I went there. I think I say a while,
a couple of years, maybe.
A couple of years, yeah. And then I ended up going there, and I trained there for about a year. And when I first went in there, they were all lovely guys.
Yeah, cool guys.
Real cool guys. And told them that I boxed and that's kind of it. So they started showing me like the basics of like how to throw a kick. And like weirdly for me, I got that quite naturally, how to throw a kick and stuff. The grappling came in later, and a lot later for me. I just sort of focused on the whole kind of kickboxing.
Well, maybe if you was a boxer, you're probably going to more gravitate to the kickboxing,
the striking side
of things, because you can I can just change my stance a little, maybe add some kicks.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more, like a little bit more familiar to you.
Yeah,
maybe.
And I think as a downside especially for my early MMA career, I focused a lot on the kickboxing side, and I'd go to the odd sort of like MMA session where they'd do the takedowns and stuff, and kind of got like the basics of that, but I always just fell back. I was like, I'm a striker, I'm just gonna keep striking.
So how long was it from when you started to when you competed?
I'd say about a year.
Okay.
Maybe just under. Kind of like I was like, I had this kind of not ego, but I thought, I fought over 30 fights boxing, like I fought in some like big places, taking these fights, like I know what it feels like. I'll be able to take a fight. I feel I'm a good kickboxer now. My wrestling's okay, like no one can, I don't think people will take me down, they won't be able to get past my striking kind of thing. And I got in there and had my first fight with them, and I learnt the hard way.
So where was the first fight?
TMT 5. You had a couple of your guys.
Okay, so TMT
I don't know if
5.
it was Martin's first pro fight.
I don't know. I don't.
Scott fought as well.
Because he fought on all of them, I think.
Yeah.
So the first one, I'm definitely sure was an amateur.
Yeah.
So
I think Scott fought for the title.
Scott fought for. No, then that would have been. We need Reese here.
Yeah.
But that would have been.
But it was at Fort Park.
Yeah, Scott fought for the title, Fort Park. Yeah, that was a good show there.
It was a good show. They done Macto, and then that was kind of
I think that might have been when Martin fought Terry Brazier.
Oh, it might have been. Maybe.
It's a good show, though.
Yeah, it was a good show. I loved it. For my first fight, it was weird fighting in Fort Park, but it was a great show. It was run really well.
Yeah.
But as I was saying.
So did you train? Did you just sort of jump in and fight there, or did you like, right now we're going to fight there, or put a camp in, or train specifically for anything? Or
that camp was where I came over to you guys.
Oh, you
started. It was me and Modestus.
That's when you popped into Harrow.
That's when I popped into Harrow. Yeah. Sort of, it was like the last 3 weeks, because it was a good gym, but for me there wasn't any sparring over at Gintas for people my size. Obviously we had. Sam
what would
Patterson
happen with
over there
Gintas?
Well.
He would reach out. Most of it, like a lot of, even when I used to be in the Scout Hall in South Foxy, when his guys were going to compete and they needed some sparring, we were all close, like we were all in the vicinity of each other. So we're gonna bring him down on a Wednesday, and we're sparring, we'll do some stuff. So we did that a few times. So you know, there was, I don't, no, I say I don't think that any of Gintas's guys fought our guys, but they did. I remember Jags fighting, I think he fought Peter.
Oh, okay.
I forget his last name. Armbar, and got
Didn't
armbarred.
Reece fight, was it Malachi?
Oh yeah, actually, and what I'm talking about, we fought a few of the guys. But for me, it's like, I mean, in the amateurs, I'd let anyone fight anyone really. In the amateurs, where you're trying to learn your craft, and the professional side gets a little bit different because you've got some heavy techniques and you know, it's a bit different. But even then, as long as you're not like training together a lot or at all, then, you know, if you've done a bit of sparring with each other, then it's a little different. Because don't forget, in professional thing, those numbers count, sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
You know, the 100%. Actual fight record needs to be, and you know, it's a bit. I'm reluctant to put anyone, like, because I got a lot of guys who run gyms, so I was reluctant to put my students with my friends' students in the professional ranks, because there's more guys to go around.
Yeah, of course.
But as long as you don't train together, that's, you know, but because it's, for me, it's not, my guy's better than your guy. No. But it's like a test. It's like, that's why you want to compete, because you want to test your skill as a fighter, as a competitor, right? So that was your first fight, TMT 5. 5, yeah. And you would pop over to our gym anyway.
So yeah, I had sort of like, I'd say like, called it like a camp at Gintas for like 4 to 6 weeks, and for like the last 3 weeks was when Modesta said, oh, we're going up to Harrow to train this Team Crossface. And I was like, oh, okay, like it'll be good to get some different sparring in. And that was the first time I went to boiling hot Harrow gym.
100 degrees Harrow.
That was ridiculous. I don't even have to cut weight, but I just walked in there and just started sweating. Like, but yeah, that was my first MMA fight and my only MMA fight with Gintas Combat. And then he, as you said, he was sort of closing up there, and it was a bit annoying, kind of like after my first fight, and then I hear, oh yeah, he was like, we're closing the gym, and I went, and then he told me, oh, but actually there's another gym opening across the road, basically, and it was you guys.
Yeah, to be fair, it was handy, because I was very reluctant to come here and sort of jump on Gintas's territory, so to speak. So it was a good big relief for me. Yeah. When he said, "Oh no, we're going to wind down the gym anyway," so it was a big relief when he said that, and I think that was probably a good thing for you guys, because you had somewhere
to go.
Yeah. You know.
Because I kind of, for like a week or so before I knew that, I got quite depressed, because I was like, oh, it's like my whole sort of boxing thing again. They're moving, and there's no gyms around here, and I don't know where I'm gonna go. What am I gonna do with this? I've just fallen in love with this sport. Yeah, I just had my first fight, and I'm like, what's going on? I want to
do one again and win.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then you come over to here. Did you come straight here, or did you have a bit of time off?
No, I came straight over here, and
how long ago was that?
So, 24.
A couple of years now, right?
3 years.
You've been here 4 years now, right? So
3.
But we've been here. Oh, this is the 4th year, I think.
Yeah, I've been here for sort of like just over 3 years. I came over and I started training with you guys like
on a regular,
fully, like about just over 3 years.
And how many fights have you had now? I mean, were you even contemplating turning professional now?
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Because it's been super hard getting you like fights, right? Super, because you've taken like many a fight that you shouldn't have taken because of your weight.
Fights, different weight, last minute fights with like a few days notice, or weight like fights that.
Because you fought from what, 62, 66?
Yeah.
All the way down to what? I mean, really, you could fight at 52, right?
Yeah. So I fight at like my fight weight is like 57 kilo flyweight, and I walk around at 58, and I was sort of, just because I wanted to fight, like I've got this big sort of, I don't want to say ego, but I've got this thing where I was want to
fight. You're eager.
Yeah.
To do it. Yeah. So that's like, my job to say, right, listen, relax.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you don't fight. We get you the right fight.
Exactly.
At the right weight.
That's it.
At the right place, rather than, oh, I'm just going to take, because this is kind of what we used to do back in the day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like way back when we didn't have any idea what's going on. So that's kind of one of my things to try and do, is stop you taking these, especially in the amateurs is different because you want to build the experience.
Yeah. So I remember you really sort of, everyone kind of stopped me because I've got that big sort of thing of like, oh yeah, I'll take the fight. I won't say no to a fight. And I remember we was at X3 and I had about 5 different opponents. I had 3 different opponents on the day. And then they were like, okay, so yeah, you got this 66 kilo guy, and I was like, yeah, okay, we'll fight. Started getting ready, got the gloves on. I was on the pads with Charlie, and then they were like, he hasn't turned up. We got this 70 kilo guy, and I was just like, fuck it, let's do it. And then everyone was just like, no, that's not right. You walked over to me, Martin walked over to me, we were like, just forget. It's like, no, I'll fight. I'm ready. I've got my shorts on. Like, no, just leave it. And I was like, fuck.
Well, sometimes you got to think like you're just helping out. Who are you helping out?
Exactly.
If you're saying, yeah, I mean, I don't get, especially like in an amateur situation, you're not getting any money.
Yeah.
You're not getting paid. And we had a few guys on the card anyway, so it wasn't like people that come to see you have missed out. And there's loads of fights on the card, so they still saw fights. So, you know, it wasn't like, you know, you got to look after yourself. There's no point just jumping in and like, in the like, because it's one thing 2-3 days before, but on the day, like not even on the day, was it? It was like on the hour.
On the hour.
I'm on in 5 fights and you just switch my opponent.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's crazy. So yeah, you got to look after those things. Be a bit more careful nowadays of what and when you're going to fight. You know.
Yeah.
Man, someone working that bag.
Yeah, it really is.
Wow. Well, I tell you what. So you've got to where you've gone from being a boxer to being a martial artist now. Yeah. How many amateur fights you had now?
I've had 7 or 8 now. I think 8.
7 or 8 amateur fights, and now we're looking to maybe 2019, maybe one more amateur, one more pro, depending on what turns up, what we can get you.
Yeah.
So. Well, we'll leave it there because everyone's trying to get out of the gym. And well, to be fair, we probably should have started now because it's getting a bit quieter.
Yeah, it is.
We'll see how this turns out. If we have to do it again, we'll do it again. If not, we'll have a part 2.
Definitely.
And thanks for sitting down. Nice and fast one for us, Mitchell.
Oh, no. My pleasure.
I'm sure we'll have you on again.
I'd love to.
I'll catch you later. Thanks for having a chat.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Oof.